Previously on Minecraft The Journey. Are you ready? And thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you. Bye-bye. I kind of expected to die. What do you do in these situations? This wasn't quite expected. Oh, I know. Good thing I brought this along with me. Oh, what a shot! Careful. Careful. Just gotta reel myself in. That's it. Just a little further. Just a little further. Almost there. Oh, can I make it? Oh, thank goodness. Well, I have no need for that anymore. Wow, could you feel the tension there? Those were some action-packed scenes, all right. It's unfortunate that this version of Minecraft, or any version of Minecraft indeed, doesn't really have a grappling hook. It would be great if it did, because I could do all sorts of stunts like that all day long, but no. Unfortunately, what really happened there was that I fell into the void as planned, and I thought, like every other version of Minecraft, when you hit the void, your character will just start to die. But unfortunately, in this version, that doesn't happen. And your character just keeps falling and falling and falling infinitely, and so I had no other way out. I even stopped and restarted the game, but I was put back in exactly the same position, tumbling down into the void as I was when I began. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is why we take backups, right? Before we go off and do silly things, always take a backup, just to be sure that you don't stuff yourself up. So here we are. Restored from the backup. It's almost like throwing ourselves down into the void never even happened, so that is definitely something to watch out for next time. But hello, welcome. This is episode 15, I think. I've lost count because I've been busy making episodes back to back recently because I've been having so much fun playing this game. And last time, look, I'm just running around like doing nothing here. Last time we made this amazing cobblestone generator. And it's not really that amazing at all because instead of producing cobble, it produces obsidian. And when I was watching the episode back, I happened to notice that there were certain times, twice I think in fact, when this machine did actually produce cobble. And I'm going to have another play with this and see if I can recreate those conditions because for some reason, when it's in this configuration, all it makes is this obsidian, which you can only then break and it turns into cobble. But when it was longer, I think what's happening here is when the lava touches the water, it turns to obsidian. But when the water touches the lava, it turns to cobble. I need to do some more experimenting, or is it the other way around? It must be the other way around. I'm going to do a bit of experimenting and see what we can learn. And this is why it always makes sense to read the release notes thoroughly. They say, flowing water that touches flowing lava creates cobblestone. Okay, we have flowing lava. Let's get ourselves some flowing water and cobblestone. It also says flowing water that touches standing lava turns the lava into obsidian. Well, we know that standing lava is actually a block like this, or the one up here in the generator itself, and you can see that that's exactly why every time we push the water into the standing lava block, it creates obsidian. Although I think what it's supposed to mean is that it will convert the lava block itself into obsidian, just like you would expect to see in a cave when you pour flowing water over lava. But something weird is happening here. Let me show you what's going on. If I remove the cobblestone block, theoretically that should produce another cobblestone because you have flowing water and flowing lava, and you get obsidian. So I suspect what's happening here is that even though this is flowing lava, the game is doing something wrong and it's making obsidian instead of cobble. So that's why our cobblestone generator is currently making obsidian. So we'll have to wait for that bug to be fixed and then see if we can get that working again. But for the time being, we've done everything we can in 2010-06-17-3, and I think that it's time to upgrade to the next version of InfDev, and that one's going to be very special because it introduces one of Minecraft's best known features ever. Welcome back, this is Minecraft InfDev 2010-06-18. This update was also known as Secret Friday 1, the first of several secret updates which included new content that wasn't publicly disclosed at first and allowed the players who were playing these versions to discover it as they went. So first we're going to start with some of the boring stuff and then explore some of the bigger stuff. Well, first it says that in this version, sand and gravel fall more realistically. So let's have a look at what that means. Yeah, well, it falls like it does in modern day Minecraft. I suppose that's realistic in that it's a gravity block, right? So, yeah, I'll give you that. Part 2 involves, well, I wish I had known about this earlier, but apparently now if you jump into the void, it will kill you. So, we know what happened last time. Let's hope this time... Oh yeah, it actually happens. And look at that! We spawn back on our lovely little spawn spot. And the final thing we need is over here, cooking in the furnace. We need plenty of iron for this because the next thing we can make is a new craftable item. We got sticks, we got iron, we've got rails. Look at that. And if we do this, we should also have... What is that? That is supposed to be a minecart. What? Okay. Let's go outside and check this out a little bit more closely. I've never seen that texture before in my life. Now, if we put these rails down, we should have a minecart track. So, look at this thing. Okay, ready? There's the minecart. That's fair enough. But yeah, that texture. Oh, I'm right-clicking on the minecart. I can put things in the minecart, and the minecart fills up slightly. Cool. Oh, that's so cool. So I can use this to transport my goods back and forth from wherever I've been mining, as long as I can build enough rail to bring it all the way back to spawn. Let's see just how full this thing can get. Let me gather up some stuff in my inventory. I've set up this little workstation here so that we can isolate the minecart without it rolling away or anything like that. You can also see that some of the textures bleed into the block because the Minecraft is slightly bigger than the block, but that's okay. What we want to do now is we want to see what happens when we put stuff into the minecart inventory, but we want to do it a little bit by a little bit because we want to see the effect of the minecart based on how much stuff we put inside. So not much change there. Notice how my cursor also drops to a different position when I get out of the menus. That's been a common problem in Minecraft for a while now. Okay, so maybe it works on thirds. Let's fill up 1/3 of the minecart. Is that higher than it was before? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe only the video footage will help me see. Okay, let's fill up another 1/2. And yes, I have to do it stack by stack because that's the way that Minecraft works in these older versions anyway. It looks like it's filling. Let's keep going. Yeah, that's definitely filling. Okay, let's get it completely full to the brim. There we go. So that's what a full minecart looks like. Well, that was a little difficult to see on camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a shot here where I can show you the difference with each stack as it goes into the minecart. So let's have a look at that. So there we go, a little animation showing all of the different levels of the minecart as it fills up with stuff. Now I'm keen to do a bit of experimenting with the minecart because this is quite a different minecart to what we see in the usual Minecraft, right? I mean, you can put things straight into the minecart as we saw. If we right click on it, we still have our inventory. What happens if I break the track or break the minecart? I wonder. If we just, whoops, Let's break the track. Okay, so we still have a movable minecart here. What happens if we break the minecart? You can't break the minecart. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe it has to be... Wow, the pushing of the minecart's really weird. Maybe it has to be on a track to be broken? No. Maybe the inventory has to be empty. In order to do that, I'm going to have to empty this entire inventory stack by stack. Let me just do that. Okay, one empty minecart. Let's see if we can break it. No, we can't break it. It looks like we've got a minecart forever now. Okay, that's going to be interesting. Take a look at this. I decided to bring the minecart inside because I wanted to have some spaces in this house where we could show off some of the weird and wonderful things about Minecraft and keep an eye on things as we upgrade through the versions. And of course, I have encountered the old east-west, north-south rail placement issue. Look at this mess. What a complete disaster when all you want to do is just join up a couple of tracks in going in one direction. So that, I'm pretty sure, is going to have to be fixed soon because that's just unworkable. What it means is we have to place the tracks in this direction across the floor. So it will have to be something like this. Oh, I've run out of tracks. But you get the point. It'll have to be facing in that direction. And there we go. So we have ourselves a little track now. We can put the minecart on there. And I've filled this one up again because I'm really curious, because we know that the minecarts are going to change, and we know that you won't be able to use them with a direct inventory like this forever. But when will they change? And what will happen to this minecart when they do change? So these are all the fun and interesting things that we are yet to discover about upgrading through the different versions of Minecraft. So right now you can just play with this little minecart on the tracks here, have a bit of fun. So we'll come back to him and see what happens in the next few versions. Oh, there are some weird things about Minecraft that you notice when you're playing this game. Keep an eye on the texture of the contents of the minecart. As it crosses these diagonal tracks, notice that it changes and then it reverses back. So it must have something to do with the directional position of the track, which causes the contents of the minecart to change as it goes around the track. Well, that's obviously just a bug, but hey, it is interesting, right? A little quirk. One of the other things that I'll do is I'll put that weird textured minecart in this chest, and then we can see if it changes at some point in the future, because that is such a weird texture. Okay, now there's something absolutely cool that I have just realized that we overlooked from way back in the classic era of Minecraft. You know how Minecraft, I said it's not got version numbers at the moment, but every time a release comes out, it's 2010-06-18, just like the one that we're running now, which is 2010 June 18th. So this change happened way back in a February release. So this would be back in the classic era of Minecraft, basically. And in that version, armor was introduced. It happened to be cloth armor. And cloth is what you get off of a sheep at the moment. And so what that means is that we should be able to craft cloth armor. Wow, that's so cool. So cool. Let's make every single item that we can. I think we need to go and hunt some sheep because I want to make 2 sets of this. One is a set that I want to keep. No, that's wood. We don't want to make wooden armor. We want to make 1 set for wearing and 1 set to keep. So let's just get rid of all this junky iron armor. Hey, geez. Okay, let's put this on and have a look at ourselves. That is cool. Now, unfortunately, you can't really see my own character from a third-person perspective unless you're here in the inventory, because that's just the way that the game works at the moment. See how he follows my mouse cursor? You are getting very, very sleepy. Yeah, so he follows my mouse cursor and also runs around like a lunatic. But yeah, that's the cloth armor. It looks a little bit like the leather armor, but it's pretty cool. It's only 1 color. Oh, that's a shame. And I'm wondering when this is going to disappear or change, that's for sure. But let's wear this for a while and see what happens. I'm sorry, sheep. Ooh. I'm sorry, sheep. I'm sorry, sheep. Oh. I'm certain that sheep were more abundant in the previous versions. I've done a big lap of this whole area, and all I found were these 3 sheep, and I've just killed 2 of them. each time that I punch a sheep, its health goes down, so I can only get a limited quantity of cloth from each one. It's very frustrating. I'm not even sure how they regrow their cloth, what do you call that? Their fleece at the moment, because they don't chew on grass as far as I know, so maybe it just randomly reappears. That's right, I'm seeing pigs spawn before my eyes, but just no sheep. Well, I'm sad to say that that was a total bust. There are just no sheep out there. Maybe it's a bug. Hopefully it'll get fixed. For the time being, I have put the cloth armor in here. It's taken a little bit of damage because I was wearing it out and about trying to find other sheep, but we can still keep our eye on it here and see what happens to these textures as the game progresses. Well, back to the task at hand. We were playing with minecarts at the start of this episode because they've just been added to the game, and that's pretty amazing. Here we have a full minecart, here we have an empty minecart, and of course here we have our weird minecart texture that I can't explain. Now we're going to upgrade to the next version of Minecraft, that's InfDev 2010-06-24, and there are some changes made to minecarts in that version, including the fact that you can now ride the minecarts and they no longer have their own inventory. So it'll be very interesting to see exactly what happens to this minecart. Before we upgrade, why don't you pause the video and put your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think is going to happen to this minecart. I think it's just going to delete this entire inventory and turn back into a basic minecart. But we will have to wait and see. Just before we go into the world, I have made a decision here to skip 2010-06-24 and move straight into 2010-06-25-1. And the reason for that is in the June 24th release, Notch changed the world save format, and this version happened to be quite buggy, including some issues where the world save didn't even work, and also it increased the world save size humongously. And then he decided to undo that and revert it back to the original world save format in 25-1. So the only difference between the two is that it's reverted that world save format. So in order to reduce the risk of me completely destroying the world, I just decided to skip that since it was only there for one version. But let's jump back into our single player world. It says it's 3.19 megabytes, but it's wrong. It's actually about 15 megabytes is my world save size at the moment. But I want to jump in now and see what happened to that minecart. Right. Well, this is unexpected. I have no idea where we are. I don't have any audio. I have sheep everywhere. This could be very, very bad. Is it? When he said that he reverted the world save format, I wonder what that actually means. Whether it wasn't actually reverted at all, but in fact, it became a brand new world terrain generator. I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like we might be in trouble. Let me go offline and do a bit of research. We are back. Minecraft InfDev 2010-06-27. And the reason I've just moved to that version is because it is just a whole lot simpler. I've had to do quite a bit of fiddling in the profile, effectively to make a whole new profile in Multi-MC and replace what I had in order to make it work. It looks like the game is moving more towards the alpha stage, which is in a couple of versions' time, and it's making some background changes, which is causing me a few headaches. The reason that we got that world before was not because the entire world had generated brand new, or maybe it did, I'm not exactly sure. But what had actually happened there was that Minecraft decided to revert back to its preferred location in your profile directory .minecraft and launch an old world save from there. That's why I launched with an inventory, and that's what threw me the first time, because I thought that I had launched into the world with my previous inventory, but brand new terrain, and that something weird had happened. But lo and behold, when I researched it, it was okay. I managed to get back a working version of the game, which is now 2010-06-27, and load up my previous world save from 2010-06-18, no problem. However, in between that, I did experience multiple crashes, which is why I had to tweak and fiddle with all of the profile settings. But anyway, enough of that. It's worn me down. I tell you what, because I was stressing out that I thought I might have lost that world permanently. But luckily not. So here we are, 2010-06-27. Let's load it up. World 1. That's not the right world size, by the way. Something funky happens there. But let's go. And that was quick. Okay, no crashes, no nothing. Everything's as it should be. Whew, that was lucky. Now, as for the minecarts, I just wanted to show you a couple of things really quickly. I did happen to test this out in between versions, in between clips, I should say, just because I was making sure that all the worlds were working correctly. But we wanted to find out what happened with these minecarts. And what I can tell you is that you can now right-click on the minecart and get inside of it. The minecarts themselves have no inventory, and I have to break the minecart in order to get it back. But when I put it back on the track, this chest reappears, so that's a little bit weird. Now this one is the one that's full of all of the items that we had put in there before, and although we wanted to find out exactly what happened to it when we upgraded, I don't want to touch it, because I think that it's still full of cobblestone, and if I right click on it, I'm just going to get into it, and the only way to get out of it is to break it, and I'm going to lose that. So right now this is a special and unique minecart because it actually has an inventory, even though you can't actually access them. Oh look, you can move the minecart. But I'm pushing forward, but I don't really know if I'm gaining speed or anything like that. I'm pressing backwards now and I can't go backwards. So it looks like you can move the minecarts, but they still need a bit more work before they actually become useful. So, I need a break. And thankfully, it's nearly the end of the episode. In fact, let's just call it the end of the episode, because I think we have run out of time, and we've had a rather stressful time these last few minutes. Well, it's been a few minutes for you, but it's been quite a bit longer for me, I can assure you. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me in this episode and exploring even more brand new content in these InfDev snapshots that we've been playing through. And if you want to, please leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the episode. And of course, tell me if you were stressed out like I was, that you thought that we were going to lose this whole world. Whew. Leave me a like if you want to as well. It really helps out the channel, and subscribe for more content like this. But that's going to be the end of the episode. And so thank you very much. This has been BugmanCX. You've been watching Minecraft The Journey. Bye bye.